Hey guys, how are you doing today? Today I actually had an idea to bring you something, to bring to those who actually don't still know about this. The title of the video already is showing where I'm getting it. Um, I was installing a ReShade on this game, Ride 6, because usually on these games where on the type of games they are supposed to mimic reality, in terms of graphics, and this is one of those games. I like to usually apply a reshade if I think maybe the lighting or something else like sharpness, contrast, color is not really up to it doesn't seem like it's the best that could be for that game. I always apply a mod through an app. It's ReShade. It just basically brings you a lot of options to, let's say, paint your game, to add a lot of effects that can improve the image fidelity by quite a bit. It might cost you a few frames though, depending on the effects that you turn on, but let's go straight into it. Let's just do one thing. Now this game, it's Ride 6, just came out. It looks pretty good, let's be honest. I'm gonna let the bikes just go. Okay, now that these guys are gone, first, actually let's get out of here because of the noise from the fans. It will just be a second. Let's just get into another place. Yeah, before this I was actually gonna see which track would be better to do this. One with vegetation but with buildings around and stuff, but this will do for now. So this game, like the colors and all that, looks good, doesn't it? The game just looks good overall. No complaints. Which I didn't really have any complaint, but I always try to improve these games, especially if I have enough frames for it, because like I said, you will lose a few frames. Now I'm going to apply the reshade that with the effects that I chose, and if you don't know what the reshade is, I will show you that also, don't worry. Now I'm going to apply my reshade, and this is what I chose. It's just a little bit more bright. I think the lighting just becomes a little bit better. The colors are slightly different. I don't know, this is the one that I chose. I can choose to change it whenever I want, and this is what I'm going with. So compared, first of all, let's go for just a little bit of a ride. And just to see how it looks around the track and all that. Now notice the lighting and all that, how it looks, and tell me what you think. Sometimes the floor looks a little bit too bright, but that's also according to reality, because many times when you go out in your car and stuff, you will hit a spot on the road when the sun is hitting it, and it will be just very bright. So that also checks out well, in my opinion. Let these guys go through. So the reason why I also came for a little ride, there's one guy left, I believe, number 11. Where are you, man? I bet he fell down somewhere. At least the guy that went through was number 10. I'm 12th. So where is the other guy? Doesn't matter. So I was saying the reason why I'm going for a little lap is just to show you, you know, how it is in conditions where the light is hitting the floor and all that. Now, if I turn off the reshade, once you are used to now the effects from the reshade, now that you've seen it for a while, you're not used to the original color of the game anymore. So now I'm going to change it back just for you to see. I like this side view more. I'm going to change it back and tell me what you think of the natural colors now. This is the natural colors of the game, the natural lighting, and what is it called? Can't remember. I'll show you, because I was always going inside the app just to show you the effects also. Now I'm gonna turn on the effects again. What do you think of it? Oh, I noticed now, I didn't even remember, there's a little bit of a vignette effect also. I don't know if you noticed. I'm gonna turn it off and on again. There's a little bit of, I put a little bit of vignette effect just to see how it would go, and I kind of like it actually. It's barely noticeable, but after getting used to this color and this lighting in the game, when you go back to the natural one, it just doesn't look good for me. I'm gonna turn off the effects again, let these guys go through. What do you think? I really don't like it. Once I see the effects that I chose for the game, I just don't like the natural colors. The colors are kind of washed out. You know, the lighting is washed out. It just does not look good. This looks so much better for me. I just don't like it. Judge it for yourself. Look, these are the naturals. Nothing bad, nothing to complain about. It looks good, but this just looks so much better for me. That is my opinion. I usually do this in quite a few games, especially if I have a few frames to spare. It's just different. I'm gonna show you what I applied, and let me do one thing actually. Oh, in the menus, sometimes it might not look very good, especially if you have a little bit of a bloom effect also applied, which looks good on these racing games because of the sun and all that, but nothing too strong. But sometimes on menus, whatever, like the white parts of the menu, just sometimes are a bit too bright. I'm gonna turn it off for you to see. This is the natural colors of the menu. Now it doesn't even look good, does it? Even in the menu, the colors are kind of washed out, kind of dark. I don't know. Doesn't matter. What I was going to do was going into the audio and just too much sound on the track. Yeah, for you to hear me better. Now let's go. For you to go into, I mean, I think you can choose the key, the key to open the app. I always go with home. It's the default one, home. So these are the effects that I've chosen. First of all, the one on top, you can barely notice it, and I mean, I can notice it for sure, but actually barely over here. On the starting line you can see it a lot better. On this fence on the side, you know, anti-aliasing makes a difference because this only has TSR upscaling. If it had the LSS, that would fix some shimmering that you will see in many places in this game. Unfortunately, it doesn't have DLSS, doesn't have FSR, just TSR. But doesn't matter. Now, this one is barely noticeable. I just turned it off and on again, you can see anything. So it's directionally localized anti-aliasing, DLAA underscore plus dot FX. The next one, level plus. I'm gonna turn it off for you to see. It did nothing. It did nothing. You know why? Because it wasn't applied. Idiot. Now let me see again the anti-aliasing. A lot more noticeable. I don't know if you can see it here on the side. Can you see my mouse? Down there and here on this fence. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. I'm going to apply. Look at the fence right in front of the bike. I'm going to apply it. Did you see a difference? I'm going to unapply again and apply it again. As you can see, anti-aliasing makes quite a difference in many places. It doesn't make a difference in the track, in the grass, in the bike, but in fences where there's, you know, these grids and all that metal stuff, it makes a difference. Now levels plus, I'm going to turn it off. As you can see, levels plus is a big part of the effects that I chose. It's let's say 70% of all the effects in terms of how much difference it makes. I'm going to apply it again. Just that, I mean, the lighting and all, you turn it off, it's kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't look that great. The game looks good until you improve it. Once you improve it, it's like you can't turn back anymore. I'm going to apply it once again. And now perceptual HDR. It's basically like fake HDR. There's actually one called fake, right here, fake HDR. I'm going to turn it off for you to see also perceptual HDR. You can't see much of a difference. Look down here to the bike. Look over there. I'm going to turn it on. And you can see the little details a little bit more. There's not as much of a dark shadow anymore. I'm going to turn it off again and on. Okay, so clarity gives you a bit more contrast, and I think it's mostly contrast that it gives you, and it makes some darker scenes a bit more darker on the edges and all. I don't know, it just looks good. It's off, now on, now off again, and now on again. And then there's actual local contrast. You can see the effects right here on the road on the left side if you want of the bike. Down here if you can see my mouse. I'm going to turn it off. You actually can't see it that much here. You can see it on this shadow, on the bike's shadow. I'm going to turn it off, the local contrast. And now on and off and on. It's not, I don't know if you can see really well because of YouTube compression, but the shadow turns darker, sure, but it's not just that. The little rocks on the road are a lot more noticeable with local contrast. Now it's off, now it's on. Now Technicolor, this one I turned it on just because the game, like, it feels like it has a bit too much color without it. In terms of it looks good, but in terms of reality, by turning it on, I have it off right now. By turning it on, it takes off some of that color, so it looks a little bit more realistic, I guess. I'm going to turn it off. Look at the image. The sky is more blue and everything has a little bit more color. Now I'm going to turn it on again. Everything has a little bit less color, but I found it a little bit more realistic. And now the vignette effect, since it's on the sides, You won't be able to notice it as much because the sides are on darker spots, the sides of the screen in the grass and all that. But I'm going to turn it off. Yeah, it's noticeable because that vignette effect actually reaches or almost reaches the middle, so it's on most of the screen, not just on the edges. I'm going to turn it on again. This is one of those, you know, it doesn't look bad, but I might just turn it off. We'll see. And then there's Magical Bloom that gives a little bit of a bloom effect. And it's one, I don't know, I guess I kind of like it just because it brightens up more. You know, it's sunny outside and outside. It's sunny outside and it just looks good. The Magic Bloom adds a little bit of bloom, and like in games where you have lamps and all that, it adds a little bit of bloom around the lamp. It also looks good. But this one looks good without the Magic Bloom also. Now it's off. I'm going to turn it on. It's on, and it's off, and it's on again. So now I'm going to show you something else. The actual FPS it costs me. Let me turn off VSync because I always turn on VSync, you know, for a more smooth gameplay. Now I'm actually only getting 70 FPS. I'm playing at 1440p, and since it's ultra wide, I would be playing in a 16:9 monitor. I would be playing at around 85 FPS instead of 70. But you know, I think it's worth it. So I'm going to see by turning off all effects on the... Oh, I have it. My hotkeys are Alt Y. You can go here on settings up here again. I think you may be able to see. I have it right here on effect toggle key right here. I put Alt Y, I always did from the start, so that's how I do it. And the overlay key is home, but you can change it. I always leave it, but if you have like a 60% keyboard, which I also do, you can put it somewhere else. But I also have the home key on that keyboard, and I have another keyboard right here, so I always leave it in the home key. But doesn't matter, you can change both the effect toggle key and the overlay key overall to make this appear. So I'm going to now get out of here, not like that, and I'm getting 71 FPS. I'm going to turn off the effects, and I'm at 87 FPS. So I lose 16 FPS overall, which is quite a bit. But the thing is, you can improve it just by turning on one effect. Because if I go there again, like I said, levels plus is like 70% of the actual effects that I turned on. Visually, it's like 70% because I turned it off. If I turn off levels plus, no, wait, it's not on yet. It's not. Now it's on. If I turn it off, look at this. It looks basically original. So let me see one thing. We were at 87 FPS, right? So I'm gonna turn everything off. Now it's all natural. This isn't the natural color and lighting of the game. Now I'm gonna turn on levels plus only. I'm at 87 FPS. I'm going to turn off levels plus. And look at this, 86 FPS. I lose 1 FPS only, and the game looks awesome. And this is one of the things you don't need. But the thing is, when you start turning, because look at the effects this has. Look at this. This, I don't, and I advise you to download all the effects when you do this. I'm gonna show you how to do it actually, and where to download the app or mod or whatever you want to call it. Levels plus alone just fixes most of it, but the anti-aliasing, it's necessary. For me, look at the fence, turn it off, turn it on. I don't know if you can see a difference through YouTube compression or not. Perceptual HDR does something here on the darker side if I turn it off. It's just too dark. If I turn it on, you can now see the edge of the wheel and more stuff. Clarity looks good because applies a little bit of contrast, and not only I apply a little bit, you can apply more contrast if you want. There's more contrast effects also. Technicolor, I just applied this one. There are two Technicolors. I think there are, maybe there are more, but there are usually two. One adds more color, another one takes color off. This is the one that takes color off. And then you can go down here, like, look where it says strength. You can just add more. Look, take more color off or less. So do as you wish. Right now, I think this looks good. I don't know where I was exactly, but if it looks good, looks good. But without it, it also looks good. Looks, you know, I think a little less color looks more realistic, more according to real life, but doesn't matter. You have to choose it yourself. And I advise you to download all the effects and go through them. It might take you 1 hour or more to apply one reshade in a game until you get to know the effects. Vignette, that's one of those. I mean, it obviously looks good without it, but with it, I don't know, I kind of like it. You can also go down here and where it says amount, you can put less or more, so do as you wish, you know, and you can do that for all the effects. Sometimes it's harder to find. This one says amount, this one says strength, the other effect, the Technicolor, says strength. Some don't say amount or strength. You'll have to find the right one, and if you screw things up, you just press here on the default little blue button and it will put things back to where it was originally. So this is what I have here. I'm going to apply Magic Bloom. Actually, I like it a little bit more because it's sunny outside and all that. Now there are a lot more effects. I can turn a few on if you want. Extended levels, look, more brightness. Let me see, if I turn off levels plus, extended levels also looks good. Yeah, it also looks good, but between these two I decided for levels plus. I don't know why, I think it just looks a little bit better. So what I did was actually go look for the effects I wanted, like let's say this one. If you don't notice anything, like this effect, you don't want this in the game, but let's say you want this in the game, or another effect, doesn't matter which. You can, what I do is just, you can turn it on and then press active to top. The one that is active, or all the ones that are active, will go to top. I'll press on it, active to top, it just went to top, and wherever I am, so I don't lose myself, I'll just activate another one even if I don't want to, so it will be here. And then I'll turn it off. Where are you? It's this one. Yeah, I'll turn it off. Let's get you out of here first of all. Let's get you down here so you won't be in between the ones I like, even if they're not on. But yeah, you can do that. Just put it up here through this button, active to top, and then I just marked this one to know where I was, and then you can keep going. Apply another one, didn't do anything, nothing. This one turns out everything a little more kind of red, like in the sky it was red, darker, more color here on this one. You know, there's a lot of effects. Look, this one, comic, it's called comic. It adds a lines to the edges of things. like comic books or whatever. There are many effects. Just you're gonna go, you know, you're gonna go through this. It's gonna take a really long time. There are some strange, funny effects, pixelated effects. You know, it's worth it to go through all of them. And just keep putting the ones you like to the top, and then go mark the spot where you are, mark one or wherever you are, so you don't lose yourself. Go to the top, turn it off while you're choosing. Just turn it on, put it on the top, then come to the top and turn it off, just so everything will go back to normal. And when you choose all like these effects down here, all of these effects, most of them are effects that I knew that I might want to apply. Then between all the effects that are up here, I'll just keep trying one on one to see which ones I like, and I put them together and create the image that I want. But yeah, the thing is, if you turn it off, wait, let me take that out of here. If you turn it off, just, you know, if the game looks good and you don't want to lose any frames, because I'm at 90 FPS right now. When I turn it on, I go to 70, 71, 72, doesn't matter. So you'll have to see if it's worth it for you or not. And now I'm going to show you I'm going to show you how to actually, and where to go, how to do it and where to go. You can just go straight to the site. You can go to Guru 3D site also, but I always go to reshade.me, and just right in the middle it says download. You can download it, and then you can just go to where you have the app, open it. It says this build of ReShade is intended for single player games only and may cause bans in multiplayer games. So you just use it as you want, really, because I'm not telling you what to do. I use it in single player games only. That's how it is. So I'm going to apply it. Like, if it doesn't show up here, you apply it on the executable I don't know how to say that word. Executable of the game, the .exe file application, doesn't matter. Like Write 6, it's this one. I already apply it, so it doesn't work. It will just say if I want to update the ReShade or if I want to uninstall or something. So I'm going to apply it on, let's say, Reanimal. So it will be where it's the executable right here, Reanimal. I'm going to apply it just to show you, because I've never applied it on this game. I don't even know if I need it. I'll just uninstall it later or just leave it be, doesn't matter. I don't need to activate it. It's just to show you how it is. Now I'm going to press next. So you have to check if your game is DirectX 9, 10, 11, 12, or OpenGL or Vulkan. I don't even know. I've never seen OpenXR in any game. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to go next, and you can put up here and check all or check all. I advise you to check all of them until you learn which ones you like, which ones you don't. And just you know, check them all and download them all. So I'm going to download them for this game. I already checked all of them. You press next. Now it's downloading the effects. I'm going to jump this part. So I just realized we don't really have to be waiting for anything to download, because I just wanted to show you where to download it and how to apply it. And when you go into the game, we're already inside the game, just go on the home key, because the default one is home. You gotta have the home key at least to start, then you can change it. just turn on the home key, just start applying effects until you decide what you want. Look at this, 56 FPS right now. The more you apply, the more it costs. Some effects will only cost you like 1 FPS or something, like you saw up there with the Levels Plus, which is actually the only effect I really need for this game. But, you know, some of the others have some improvements too. So, once you get into it, just once you open it, if you want, just change it here on the settings up here. Go to the settings, and the overlay key, the second option, you can change it. I have home anyway, but you can change it to whichever key you want. And the effect toggle key, you can also, you know, to turn on and off the effect, I have Alt Y. Damn, it does look bad now. Once you improve the lighting and the colors overall and the contrast and all that, when you suddenly I turn it off and it just does not look good, man. Look at this, it's just washed out colors. I don't know, it just does not look good. Sometimes this one looks to have a little less color than it should, but with more color, when if I turn off Technicolor, that is taking off some of that color, it also looks good. Look, it has a little bit more color now, but I don't know, it just seems a bit more realistic with a little bit less color like it is now. It's not a big difference. This is off, this is on, off, on, but you know, it's your decision. If I think it looks a little better with more color in time, I'll just turn this off, or just go to some other effect and turn it off or on as I wish. Now I'm gonna show you just one more game that I thought it really needed the reshade. So this is Alien Rogue Incursion. It's a game that came out, I think, a few months back. I'm having a little bit of stuttering, it's just because I just started the game, I guess. So I applied the reshade on this one too, because this game, honestly, for me... Oh, this will be a bit noisy over there. Let it be. Can I close it? Yeah. It's just a bit noisy over there. This one, this Alien game didn't really capture, I believe, the mood of the Alien movies, you know, the darkness and all that, because I already have the reshade applied. It also always applies when you go into the game. You'll see the loading up there on the screen when you start the game. So I'm going to unapply the reshade right now. And these are the colors of the game. You know, kind of, again, kind of washed out colors, and I don't know, it just doesn't capture the mood of the Alien movies, especially the first movies, which I'm a big fan of. It's just, look around this light and on this screen and all the things, you know, this game is just not dark enough. Now I'm going to apply it again so you can see. This looks good. Everything is just a lot darker. You can see the colors here on the screen. I've got also bloom applied around. You can see it around the lights over here. Let me just pull this up. And the effects that I have are Magic HDR, Directional Anti-Aliasing, and this one Prod something, Filmic Tone Map, and Local Contrast. These are the only ones I have applied. I can't move while I have that on screen. Let me come here and you'll be able to see the contrast on this wall. Look at this wall on the side, and I'm going to unapply the contrast. You can see it. Look over there. I'm going to apply it now. Off, on, off, on. This game just, I think, needed a little bit more contrast. Now this one. Wait, let me look this way. Just going to unapply this one. This one is really necessary. This one, it's barely noticeable. But I notice it not right now, actually. I did it when I applied. Now the Magic HDR actually adds a bit of bloom effect also around the lights. So this is what I have on this game. I think it needed it. I'm going to unapply again and apply it, and look at the difference. I just don't like this. This looks so much better. And let's see how many FPS do I lose. 78, 81. Now let's turn it off from 81, 82 to 86, 87, 88. Not bad. I don't really lose much, and look at the difference. Now this captures the alien movie's ambience, I believe. Alright, that's all I wanted to show you. So remember, use it in single player games. That's my advice and the advice of the developers of this mod. So do as you wish. That's just what I wanted to show you. For those who didn't know anything about it, you can improve your games by a lot with all these effects. So go through them and decide which ones you like the most, and see if it's worth the FPS you lose or not. Alright, so take care of yourselves and see you next time. Leave a like if this was useful for you. Take care.